So this Kansas City Chiefs cheating with the refs, which we all know is factual. We all know it happens forever, and it seems like everyone tries to avoid it. And now it's kind of becoming to a point where it's unavoidable. You can't get away from it. And more importantly, the NFL can't. They did such a bad job in that game versus the Texans that we're now at a point where either someone needs to get fired in the referee crew or they need to do some type of investigation, because it's now to a point where I've seen so many non-football, non-sports YouTubers and people talk about this game and talk about how bad the Texans game truly was and how the referees truly just cheated the Texans out of a win. I mean, and it doesn't help that the announcers, right, if you're a casual fan, if you're a regular, just a random fan, and you're watching the game, and you hear Tony Romo say, or not Tony, Troy Aikman say, yeah, no, that should not have been a penalty. That is not a penalty. That is incorrect. That is wrong. That is not. Like, when you hear those things, I mean, what do you expected? Like, what do you think a fan that isn't a true sports fan and just watching it to enjoy the game for the first time, like, what do you think is going to happen? The referees are cheating. And that's just kind of how it is. And then you have the players flopping, Patrick Mahomes flopping, and then that gets called a penalty. So now we have flopping. We have referees that don't know what the hell they're doing. And you have non-sports people, non-sports fans, watching it and hearing Troy Aikman say, yeah, no, the referee completely missed that one. Oh, no, that's another miss by the referee. That's another miss. The NFL, even though they love the Chiefs and they love cheating for the Chiefs and they love absolutely just giving them everything, they need to take a step back. Because that might have been the nail in the coffin for this crap. That might have been the nail in the coffin. Again, it is amazing if you go on the internet how many non-sports fans, non-sports people are talking about this game. And that's the last thing the NFL wants. The last thing the NFL can afford right now is that to happen. So the AFC Championship game, they're trying to fix it, right? The refs are like, the NFL is like, crap. We are right now in a very bad situation because everyone knows that we cheated for the Chiefs again. So now they're trying to fix it by making the referees for the AFC Championship game be anti-Chiefs. Meaning that these referees, as you can see on your screen, they don't have a good record with the Chiefs. So they are currently 3-4 with the referee crew. The crew, by the way, is going to be Cleet Blakeman. They're currently 3-4. And then for the Bills, they are currently 5-2. Now, only one team has played with this referee crew this year, and that's Buffalo at 1-0. But outside of that, the Chiefs have not played with this crew this year. So they're trying to figure out a way to maybe balance this and say, okay, guys, like, we're not going to come out and say we're sorry because, wow. Yeah, the betting would be insane on that one. That would be a whole entire investigation by the FBI. But for the most part, you know, they're kind of trying to say, hey, we done messed up. We went a little too far. Here you go. We're going to give you more honest and normal refs. Now, who's the Super Bowl refs, you might ask? Because if they're doing this in the championship, well, will they do that in the Super Bowl? Is that very... No. In the Super Bowl, we're going right back to the basics. Ron Tolbert is the Super Bowl referee. His crew is the Super Bowl referee crew for this year. So while, yes, the Chiefs might have a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to the referee crew in the AFC Championship game, when they, let's be honest, find a way to magically go to the Super Bowl because of a call or two, they are going to have a pretty good, decent referee crew for the Super Bowl. That's going to help them win the Super Bowl. Listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. the NFL is running their own. They're running their own business into the ground by having this bullcrap. But I mean, I don't know what to say outside of it is what it is. You know, the NFL is kind of making their bed and they're sleeping in it now, and they just went a little bit too far. A tad bit too far last week, and that's definitely a situation where they're going to pay the price because a lot of people are just not. They're done with football. They're done with football, and there's a lot of new fans that just don't want anything to do with it because it's getting to a point now where it's just getting ridiculous. It really is. I think Brandon Perna said on GPS today. He said that moving forward, he wants the referees to be so against the Chiefs that other people who just watch football actually start feeling bad for the Chiefs because of how bad the refs are for the Chiefs. That's what he said today on GPS. And you know what? I kind of agree with him. I want the referees to be anti-Chiefs for the rest of the football's existence, and that's the only way we're going to make up for it. I mean, listen, we dealt with 20 years of this bullcrap from New England. New England had cakewalks after cakewalks after cakewalks, being able to just get away with pretty much murder at this point because the referees just gave them absolutely everything. We are not going to be in that same situation again. We're not going down this same exact path. For the next 20 years, the referees are going to gift the Kansas City Chiefs every chance possible and give them every single thing possible. You're just going to watch football crumble to the ground and fall apart. That's just kind of how it's going to work. So, NFL, the ball's in your court now. You gotta fix this crap. And you know what's the funniest thing? I said this 2 weeks ago. I said on the video, I said eventually the referees are going to do something. Every year, if you look at every single year of football, there's always that one call that happens during the year where the referees call something, do something, and it completely destroys the year. Everyone's like, yep, there you go, referees. You had the PI call on no PI call on Coleman for the Rams-Saints championship game. Again, big thing there. The Steelers with what's that guy's name? Their tight end who had the touchdown catch, but they said it was an incomplete pass. Big Ben throws a pick the next play later. There's that big one. There's always one that you look back on the season. I mean, look at the Chiefs. One time they won the Super Bowl. How they win against the Eagles? There was a holding call in the Eagles Super Bowl where Bradbury, yes, you could call holding. I'm going to say it is holding. But it was a very ticky-tacky call. It was barely holding. You have a holding phantom call in our Super Bowl. Every year, there's one call that changes a game, changes a season. And we just had it with the Texans game. And again, it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop because they keep getting away with it. And Roger Goodell, he's a Chiefs fan. He hugged Chris Jones after last year's Super Bowl, and he said the words, "We did it." I don't know. That seems a little bit of collusion to me, that the owner of the league can say, "We did something." Like, no, you should be unbiased and a third party. Shouldn't be rooting for certain teams to win, because then you have a bias and you will put things in place to fix that bias. Go Bills. Let's go Bills Mafia. Let's go. Also, Bills Mafia, to end this video off, Mark Andrews, as you know, dropped the pass versus the Bills, right? And he's been receiving death threats. His wife's been receiving a lot of death threats as well. Baltimore, it's not just Baltimore, because this happens across the board for a lot of different places, a lot of different teams. It's not just the Ravens, okay? But if you, come on now. I get it, he dropped the ball, but this threaten his life and his family life. So Bills Mafia went ahead and raised, I think it was $10,000 toward his foundation. Mark Andrews has a foundation for kids with diabetes. He has diabetes himself. I believe he was born with diabetes. So he actually has a foundation, and Bills Mafia raised $10,000. So shout out to Bills Mafia. They're like really the best, honestly. They took care of Andy Dalton after we put them in the playoffs because we beat the Ratbirds. Then they did this for Mark Andrews. Like, there's some good people there in Buffalo. There really is. And I hope you guys win the Super Bowl this year. I really hope you guys do. Because you guys deserve it. You guys definitely. After the 4 Super Bowl losses, trust me, we understand many Super Bowl losses ourselves. You guys had a missed field goal. We had a wide open T. Higgins for a touchdown in that Super Bowl. And we, obviously, Aaron Donald got to us. And a phantom holding call. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Peace out.